All right, I just needed to get something down on video today because there's been a lot of activity in my head and around me that I really just need to get it out into a message right now. Particularly a situation I've been having with my cats where they go under my neighbor's deck and then they hide. They go under this hole under the house and I can't get them to come back out. And then I start freaking out that there's a raccoon around here, that this raccoon could go under there and trap my cat or hurt my cat or kill my cat, So, we prayed for a house so that our cats in particular could have a yard that they could go outside and, play in the sun and roll around, and they have been, and they love it here, and my animals have been so much happier. And if you're an animal lover, you know what it's like, that you want your animals to feel good about playing and being at home and feel safe. It's just like having kids. You want your kids to be able to go outside and play and be safe. But this situation with the cats going under the deck has had me all freaked out. And I go out there and I'm yelling and screaming, get in the house, get in the house, get in the house. And I'm so afraid now because of this little critter that runs around that it could jeopardize my life just to lose an animal. Have you ever lost a pet? It's horrible. It's so painful. And there's times when I've thought I've lost my animals and then they come back hours later, but not till I have bawled my head off, like, oh my God, I lost my cat. And it's just terrible, So I was really frustrated today that I'm living in fear. I have this beautiful home with this gorgeous yard, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid to let my animals go out and enjoy the sun because of this element that's out there that's out of my control. It's the same thing where, like, living in Oklahoma, there's tornadoes. A tornado can come and like suck up your house at any time. It's really scary stuff. There's elements that are always out there that could jeopardize your life and that can put you into fear. And that's what I want to talk about today, is the things that are not in our control. And there's, there are many people that teach and preach that you have to just trust and let go and let God. Yeah, okay. But that's the spirit side of you that trusts and can let go and let God. But there is a trifold happening. We have body, mind, and spirit, okay? There's three parts. And the body and the mind are two very powerful elements of that trifold, right? So the body wants to do something. The mind wants to think something, right? And they're very powerful influences. And then you got the spirit over there hanging out by itself like, it's okay, everything's going to be okay, guys. Don't worry about it. God's got us. We prayed. It's cool. Don't worry about it. And the body and the mind are over here like, no, I got to do something about this. This is crazy. I'm going to go and trap that raccoon and, drag my animals in and never let them go outside again. And, the body and the mind have lots of activity going on. And then the spirit's like, well, just meditate on that and, just let it go and be at peace. Okay. You see what I'm saying? This is crazy making right here. We have to learn to use these three elements in a way that they can work together. So I'm not just babbling for the sake of babbling. There's actually a message here that has come to me on how to find peace when you have elements that are out of your control. And believe me, I have had a lot of those. How about you? Have you had situations in your life where you just simply could not control what was happening? A child that was going through drug use or jail, or a spouse that got sick, or a parent that you couldn't talk them into what you wanted to do with your life. I mean, there's so many elements out there that can derail us from our safety and from the safety of our minds and our bodies, that when we decide something and this is what we want, then there's all these outside elements that can come in and derail it. And there's this little critter, this raccoon, who hasn't hurt anybody yet. I mean, I see stray cats cruising around here. The raccoon isn't bothering them. I've seen the raccoon walk right through my yard, look at me, and was like, I'm just cruising through. So really nothing bad has happened, but in my mind, I'm freaking out because there is a consciousness that says raccoons are dangerous, you have to kill them, and that's the only way that you can have peace in your yard or in your house, right? Well, I can't shoot a raccoon, How about you? I can't. What am I supposed to do? The Humane Society won't come and pick them up. So I have to do what I can do to create safety. My mind thinks thoughts like, that's unsafe. The cat's going under the deck is unsafe. All right, that's legit. I'm thinking a thought. Now my body says, well, I need to take action. I need to do some action. Okay, well, let's put a board under that so that they can't go under there anymore. In case of emergency, we could still grab them, right? And then the spirit says, why are you bothering me with all that stuff? Everything is energy anyway. Just pray over your animals and pray over the raccoon and pray over the deck, and you pray over everything all the time anyway. So why not just pray over that and let it go? And the body and the mind's like, no, 2 against 1, right? So here's how we have to work these things. You have to, when you think a thought, just see where it's going to take you, okay? I'm afraid about the animals being under that deck. What can I do about it? I could put a rock under there so that they don't go anywhere. Okay, that'll give me some peace of mind. Cool, there's a solution. So take that action. Think a thought and see if you can get a solution out of it. If you just think a thought that there's no solution, then we're going to have to skip to the prayer part of letting go. If you can think a thought that can have some kind of reasonable solution that could work and be valid, then go ahead and do it. Then the body and mind now feel like they're contributing factors of the trilogy here, right? And then the spirit's like, well, I knew everything would be okay anyway, but hey, good job taking some action and giving yourself that peace of mind. Yeah, cool. You understand what I'm saying? So think your thoughts, get to a solution, take action if you need to, then pray about it and let it go, and then be at rest. So it's kind of like, instead of eat, pray, love, you're going to think, do, pray, rest. Then you rest and you wait for things to be handled in the etheric. Because a lot of things are handled for us universally, spiritually, in the etheric. God does go miles and miles ahead of us to pave the way for things. And it's the same thing with disasters. If you're somebody who is prayed up and tuned up, and you're praying over your animals, you're praying over your business, you're praying over your marriage, you're praying over your money, there is an energy force that is in motion that is creating those protective elements. That's going to divert a lot of those tragedies, okay? Not that good things don't happen. I mean, bad things happen to good people all the time, right? And they do. And we have to sometimes just deal with that as they come. But creating tragedy in your mind when something isn't really happening is not serving anybody. It's not serving you to create what you really want. Living in fear is going to stop the flow of what you need to manifest. So instead of going, just meditate your way out of this, realistically, people don't think that way. There's very few people that have such a deep, significant, unshaken faith that could never worry about a single thing. So I'm not trying to say that's how we have to be. But what I am saying is, let's work in tandem with the trilogy of mind, body, spirit. Okay? Let the mind think what it wants to think, but let's get to an end goal. What's the end game of that thought? Are you just running thoughts for the sake of running thoughts? Because that's crazy making right there. You need to be purposeful with your thoughts, because purposeful thoughts will lead to solutions. Okay? Things that you can do with your body, right? to take an action. And if neither of those things can result in any kind of action, if they are seriously just completely out of your control, then you'll have to find a way to rein in those thoughts and say, God, I just have to completely give this over to you. Please go ahead of me and give me the peace that I need. You know, do what you can do until you can't, and let God pick up where you leave off. But what I'm talking about today is just working the three parts together, letting the Spirit have its freedom to know that everything's going to be okay, because you've already thought the thought and taken the action, and now your spirit gets to do the fun part, which is know that everything's fine. And then rest and wait. And that's what I did this morning. The cat wouldn't come out. And I shake the treats, and I went under there, and I bang on the wall, and I'm yelling at her, and come on, kitty, 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 kitty. She won't come out. She won't come out. And I'm freaking out. I just came back in my yard and sat in the yard and prayed over the cat. I said, God, please let my kitty know that I want her to come home. And 2 minutes later, she popped her little head out from under the deck, and it's like, here I am. I didn't want to come out, but I just want to let you know I'm safe. So, I thought a thought. I took an action. They resulted in nothing. So I prayed about it, and then I rested. I rested my mind and rested my body, and I waited. And then, poof, the solution was there. She was safe. She was fine. She came strolling in. I know this is a silly analogy, but it's kind of like everything. There's very little that we have control over besides what we're doing with ourselves. And even half the time, I don't know what's going on with my own body. Like, ow, where'd that pain come from? So think, act, pray, and rest. And allow God to take over where you leave off. All right, that's my message for today. I hope it does you some good. Don't live in fear. Live in prayer. You'll have a much better time. God bless. Love you.